You are live, big red dot. We are live. In living color. Oh, sweet baby rays. Waiting on everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. What's up? Hey, look.
What are you doing?
I'm walking over here for a second. Oh, look at the little rabbit. See him right there. See him?
Look at that rabbit. Hey, Peter. How you doing, Peter? Oh, but look at these guys. I'm gonna eat them. Just saying. Mm, yummy. Mm. It's starting to rain. Look at these guys. This is cool. Very, very neat.
So, where in the world is Big Bear Homestead?
Now that's funny. Let's come back through here.
My britches are slipping.
Come sit down.
So, another Saturday night, live via the cellular telephono. You know what's on swing?
I'm bringing you your coffee.
Look at that swing. Look at that swing.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh. I got coffee in my hands. Come on.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera around so in case I fall, they can't see it.
You don't burn me with coffee.
Whoop.
Here you go.
Hold on now. Oh, hold on, Cletus. Ooh. I wonder if we're gonna mess with anybody's vertigo by swinging.
Let's not swing. No swinging. No swinging. No swinging. No swinging.
Hey, Mountain Life, Montana.
Why have to be so loud?
Well, you don't have to be so mean. I saw your video this morning about that young lady, and
What do you do to that head?
we are going to do a video when we get home. I'm doing my best to do a tiger impression. This is what you look like when you play football for the University of Louisiana.
Is Jason emulating Maya?
No, Jason is growing his hair out for.
Poor Boy Homestead. Hey, what's up?
It used to be called Locks for Love, but they started charging, so it's wigs for kids.
We love these mugs too.
Yeah.
Not ours,
So
but they're cool. Maya is Jason's hero.
that's just coming from some guy. So, how?
Would you like me to hold
Yes.
that? Oh God, that's the camera.
See, where's the selfie stick?
I don't know. Where'd you put it?
I don't know. We probably should go back to the table because of the coffee. It's not very smart to have this coffee and doing this on this swing. I'm just saying. That's just a 30-degree burn waiting to happen.
Maybe for you. I'm coordinated.
Oh, okay. So.
Don't elbow me while I'm drinking. When I had my head shaved, no wig charity would take my hair because it was dyed blue. Yeah, you can't
Yep.
have it dyed. No, no dye.
So, as you guys know, it was about this time.
Jason's my hero, but Robin is my superhero. Love you, dear.
It was about this time last year when Robin and I.
See, that's what I'm worried about. It says you're not supposed to have gray either.
There's no gray.
Okay, no gray. Head shaved over a beard any day. Looks good.
Thank you, busy little house.
See, I like it too. I think it looks really good. Hey, look, it's coming in very nice. Just saying.
So
So,
it was about this time last year when Robin and I snuck away, and we came up with the plan for the
copper deficiency in the body is what causes graying.
I'll have to go eat some copper pipes.
Licking the bowl. Are you in Helen? No, we're not in Helen.
Not Helen.
But you're on the
Kinda
right,
on the right
track.
Right church, wrong pew.
Yeah. Or right church, wrong faith. No, wrong.
Wrong pew.
No.
We're still in Georgia.
Yeah, I guess we are. Gatlinburg. Nope.
Nope.
Still kind of in the right. You're kind of like
Kind of in a corner
kind of close.
between all of those places.
I bet you're in America. That's that Louisiana stuff there.
That's that LSU education right there. Woohoo!
It is beautiful here, which we're gonna talk about tonight. Yes, yes.
Yes. We talking about the possibility, or
Mhm.
okay? I thought that was the bomb you wanted to drop tonight.
Not gonna tell you the real bomb.
Yeah,
You're south of the Mason-Dixon, absolutely.
absolutely.
We try
So-
very hard to not go north of it very often. People start losing their minds when we go north.
They don't get my humor.
You don't have to be rude, man. I love Brett. He's awesome.
He's just some guy that I know. That's all.
So what is the joke on that? You have to let me behind the curtain on that one.
I don't remember exactly. I think it's when he called into one of the two families' homestead thing, and I was referring to somebody else, but he thought I was referring to him,
Oh no.
and all he caught was, "Oh, he's just some guy," and so he thought that I was kind of putting. I guess he thought I was kind of putting him down or something,
Oh.
and he's like, "What? You just some guy," and so I just kind of rolled with it.
Oh, that's funny. I just signed in when they say no, we're not inhaling. I thought they said not inhaling. That's funny.
Today's subject is Nancy Reagan's "Just Say No."
Hey, Gemini, I thought you were supposed to be taking a nap. You say that like you wouldn't do that.
Well, I'm gonna do it now, but then when he was on Two Family that night, no,
Or-
I would have
or
never
is
done
he
that to him.
Or is he talking about inhaling?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, no, we're not. We are not those people. I'm laying down, just not sleeping. Okay.
And
Yeah,
so-
So anyway, so we came up with the plan last year
Mm-hmm.
of doing the raised beds,
The kitchen
the
garden.
kitchen garden, taking out the Grow Foods Not Lawns project,
Yes.
and we like how well.
It's been very successful. It may have not have been extremely successful on YouTube, without because it doesn't. Some of the stuff doesn't really get a lot of views, but off the YouTube, it's been very successful for us.
Even like today, where we were visiting today, we were talking to some people about it, so
Yeah.
we know that the project itself is interesting. It just, for some reason, YouTube doesn't think it is. I guess I don't know.
And that's okay.
We're okay with that.
Um, the summer garden project, where you're now basically in the harvesting time. Um,
Well, we are doing the secondary planting.
yeah.
We're gonna
Well, I
bring it
mean,
back.
pickles are done. Pickles are done. Done with the pickles.
Yeah, because what we did is we planted a secondary
Cucumber.
crop of cucumbers, but instead of them being the Boston pickling, now we've done the dragon eggs.
The
So,
dragon eggs. Yep. And
hey, Lonely Prepper.
we've got the seeds. We let some pickles go to seed, or
So
the
we've got-
pickling cucumbers go to seed, and they
we've got
are
those
soaking
floating.
in. They're soaking in the water now to get let all of the stuff ferment off of them.
Right.
When we get back, we will be putting them on the drying racks, and then they'll be saved. We've already saved a round of crookneck squash, and we got.
I don't know how many packets y'all
I
did.
think we got 40 packets of
25.
Of 25. So we got 40 packets. Each packet has 25 seeds
Yeah. So we have plenty of seed for
yeah.
next year.
of crookneck, which is
What
good.
up, Josh? Hey, Bears, I'm supposed to tell you Mimsy sent me. Well, welcome over, Ramey. Is that Ramey Vines?
Ramey Vines
And Homestead Times.
How are you doing?
Save a few squash for Giz. Man, let me tell you. Well, the thing is with the butternut squash that he's getting, there were actually volunteers. So we're
They
kind
weren't
of
really
okay,
volunteers. It came out of pig's butt.
which is volunteer. We didn't intentionally.
Well, I mean, I
plant
don't
them.
think anything on this planet would
Would
be like,
volunteer.
I volunteer as tribute to come out of pig's butt.
So loud.
I don't think that would happen.
No. Mm-mm.
I mean, I don't. Maybe somebody that graduated from LSU might want to do that.
Stop. I hope you wear coffee. You're being mean.
She started it.
Yeah, but Brett's in here, and he's not that. Like, that's not him.
Well, he knows it's not directed at him.
Okay, well, I hope he knows it's not directed at him.
He knows now.
So anyway, yes, Homestead, thanks for letting him know. Big Bear Homestead and Mimsy sent you. Pig butt volunteers. The things that you will
Go
hear.
Vols!
Pig-
I told him I'd say go Vols.
Oh my God, that was horrible. Any Tennessee fan has now unsubscribed to us.
We hate that guy. We gonna thumbs down every one of his every one of his videos.
Thanks, Jason. Of course, April was thinking the same thing. She has the exact same humor that we do. So
But-
anyway,
So,
with all the success of last year, we decided to amp it up a little. Just a little.
but we're not going to tell you exactly what the 2020 plan is.
No, but we are here today, this weekend, planning it out.
Planning it because this set of goals is going to take a lot of planning. A lot. And this is going to be, with us living in a semi-tropical zone, subtropical, whatever. Same difference.
Potato.
There are some things to this goal that are going to be extremely challenging. Some things we've never done before. Other things we just haven't done them since we moved up here to where our homestead is. But
Going to try and raise elk.
I wish.
I wish we could.
But, and one of the reasons why we're not telling you everything
Well, it's
that,
because we don't know everything just yet.
and we don't know everything just yet, but we are going to document everything. And mountain life in Montana. Hey, brother, I wanna say to you, the other night,
Alpaca, no.
woo, you were on point. And
Take that. Mama's gotta go to the bathroom.
okay, go potty. And what's up, Green Drink? And I really appreciate you putting that prayer request out for my friend and his family. He was my little league coach, and I don't know if it's fair, y'all. I'm getting off the swing. It's giving me vertigo. It's giving me something. I don't know if it's fair to even call him little league because it was the stage between. It was the summer between middle school and high school, and he was a very, very good man, a Christian man, and I'm gonna bring this chair over for Mama. And he he coached me a lot more than just baseball. And he was at my very first wedding, or I'm sorry, my second wedding. Nobody was at my first wedding. And one of the things that he taught me was, that life is going to throw you a lot of things, but you just got to catch it like peaches. Catch it like peaches. And unfortunately, he passed away on Monday, real early in the morning from a severe stroke, and ended up throwing. I guess my mama said he ended up throwing a blood clot or whatever. They're not having any services for him. That was his wish. His sons, he's being cremated. His sons are taking him in the urn to play uh, one round of golf with them, and then they are taking him to the ocean to spread his ashes out on the sea. And so his name was Joe Riggio. He played. I think he played one round in the majors, and he played a lot in the minors. Um, he was a very good man, and pray for the Riggio family for me, please. And because his wife is scared to death, because she says the same. She is saying the exact same thing that I know Robin would say if I was to die suddenly. That wasn't the plan. I was supposed to go first. So, could you bring an extra cup so we can put this? Where's your cup?
Is this my cup?
Right, but we need an extra cup.
Are you not going to drink your coffee?
No, I was going to drink my coffee.
Oh.
And you're going to want to drink your coffee. And so my mama's going to go down there because her and my mama are real close. And I think my mama's gonna help her out a little bit. So that happened this week. Let's see. The brooder. Well, you guys know that the turkeys happened this week. Also, that was fun. I know if you guys are on the email list, I know you guys are expecting the giveaway. But with us not, unfortunately, not being at home, we're gonna have to put that off till next week. I do apologize, but this is one of those things that came up.
Okay, move it.
There we go. Beautiful. Thank you, my dear.
That was my arm, in case you're wondering. You didn't see my comment.
Yes, I did. You call me
But
sassy.
you didn't smile.
I was talking about Coach Riggio.
I know, but I was trying to make you smile because that's sad.
I know you. You make me smile just by sitting next to me. So, I do apologize, but we will do that giveaway next week.
What? Did you tell them what we're giving away?
Seeds. Lots of seeds.
Lots of seeds. We got lots of seeds.
So, all right. So we came up here.
Well, okay, so let's back up about a week.
Back up about a week.
So we have been anxiously awaiting fall planting. because we knew that we had a lot of stuff that we wanted to plant and make sure that we got in the ground so we would have a fall harvest. Because in past years, we always end up missing it because we're too busy trying to catch up with harvesting that we forget to plant. So, should do one of them mats too. The Yeah, we are.
What, Matt?
The thing that he sent us. Yeah,
The cooking thing.
Yeah, I was planning on
Yes.
that. Yeah, definitely. So
See, I don't call that a mat. I call that a cutting board. California people name stuff weird.
I think he was trying to be conspicuous, or inconspicuous, whatever. Inconspicuous. No, yeah, whatever.
Shh. Oh,
Holy shit! Oh my god! 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 Looking right at us. Oh my god! Look. She is literally looking right at us. Holy cow! Oh my god! I just looked over there. I don't know if y'all could see that.
Can you guys see it?
There's a doe. She's eating off of the apple because there's an apple tree. She's looking right at us. Hello, dear.
She is right there.
See if you can. Oh shit! She's. Oh my god! Let her come up here. Oh my gosh! Holy cow! I've never been this close to a deer.
She's a big girl.
Holy cow! Look at her.
If we be real still, she's gonna come right up to that apple tree right there.
Apple tree is.
She's coming right at us, y'all.
She smells the coffee a bit.
We were talking too much.
All right, well, let's go back to doing our thing. She's almost walking like
She's probably prego.
that's a skinny deer.
No, for Georgia, that's
Not
a
for
big.
Georgia, yeah.
She's a big-bodied deer.
She's going back
Into the woods.
right back in the woods. That was stinking cool, y'all. I have never been that close. Well, unless I had my nose in a book and missed it.
She's steadily looking back at us like, you guys are messing up my dinner routine.
So where we're at, they have probably, maybe 10 apple trees, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe more, because there's some over there, too. Maybe 10 to 15 trees. And then they also have a bunch of blueberry bushes. And so she said that they let everything fall to the ground, that they don't harvest, they walk outside and come eat some or whatever. And oh, yes, I was very close. Good call. I forgot about that. When we went to Pennsylvania, when we drove through Valley Forge, remember? Yeah. I forgot about that. Oh, and you know which other one? That's the Pennsylvania she's talking about, just this past, when we went to Ohio. We had one in the...
You have to keep hitting me?
Yes. There was one in the street.
That's right.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But this is different. I'm talking about, sitting here, not in a situation like on the road, literally just sitting here and it's just walking up.
I would love to get on that
so
Valley Forge lottery.
I know, right?
For archery hunts.
Okay, so anyway, back to what we were talking about before we were pleasantly interrupted by that beautiful deer. She's around the backside over that way somewhere. Anyway, so she love you, Tim. I live in the city and we see deer. Well, I mean, I've seen them, but you're missing what I'm saying. We're literally sitting here in less than, what would you say, 20, 30 yards?
She was
maybe?
20 yards.
Yeah, not
I'd have
far.
put her with the 20-yard pin.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's what I was getting excited about. I've never been that close where it's like, I'm just sitting here and it walks up to me.
I would have been able to stick her right through the heart.
So, anyway, we decided to come up here to plan out this year's project because it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge.
I'm actually a little nervous about this project. I wasn't nervous about the front yard garden. I knew that one would turn out okay. I didn't know how YouTube would accept it, and to be honest with you, I don't want to say I didn't care because I did, but it was more about for Jonathan from Lone Star Living,
Mm-hmm.
for him to be able to
We'll tell you in just a minute.
be able to uh, kind of get out of his comfort zone and see that you can grow food.
Yeah, black bear. I imagine that would have been the same thing, Josh. I'd have probably pooped myself on that one. But anyway,
And so I was not as worried about that one because I've grown and raised beds before. I just knew it was going to be a lot of work because we had a lot of trees to drop.
mm-hmm.
And but this one is changing everything.
Well, and now, so back to the fall garden thing. That was the other reason why we come up here, is because we want to make sure that we've got everything in line to start planning for fall. Because we have
And that plays a major part in next year's
next
project.
year's project. I was just looking at the fact that a lot of their crepes haven't even flowered yet.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Anyway, so we're starting to look at what we're gonna do, because with the garden project for this year, we didn't have enough beds to do both sides. So we focused mainly on the one side, and we've been doing all of our kitchen garden there. So on the other side, now that we're kind of in treading water mode of just harvesting, we're going to get a couple more beds made because we've got some. But then we've got to kind of figure out how to raise a little bit of money to get some more soil 3, because we want to fill up those beds so that we can start fall planting. And so we sat up here and kind of started looking at stuff, trying to figure out what we want to plant. Yes.
Yes.
So where is up here?
Well, where are we?
Where in the world is?
We are in the North Georgia mountains.
Carolyn Privet, is that Chris's mom?
Yeah, I think so.
Privet, I'm sorry.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, John.
We're in we're in part of the Smoky Mountains. This is the lower part of the Smoky Mountains. We're in the Appalachian Mountains, really close to the Blue Ridge Parkway, in a town called say it because I can't say it.
Dillard.
Dillard,
We're in Dillard, Georgia.
Georgia.
And
Here's
right
a cool piece of.
around the corner right there, if you go down that street, you walk into North Carolina. So we're literally like
There.
if this is the Georgia, like right there. This is North Carolina. We're like right there.
Like if we go over that mountain over there, and then hook a left, and go over 2 more mountains, we'll be in Chris's house.
Something like that. Pretty close, yeah. Probably. So
Be-
go ahead.
Well, we had to come up here because Robin wanted to,
Well, okay, so here was the thing.
and yes,
This
that's
time-
thunder.
This time last week, Jason and I were talking about the garden and about this project that we're not going to tell you about just yet, because we still have a lot of details to work out. But we started talking about it, and every time we would try, oh, well, hello there. Watch out for the banjo players. I love Dragonstone. He's awesome. Okay, so
Thank you, Dragon.
we started talking about everything and trying to get everything in order. And every time we would try to get to talking about stuff, the girls are fighting. Blaze is being Blaze, and it was just crazy. So we decided that we would look into getting a room for a night and just kind of trying to get away and do what we've done in the past. Well, I don't know how many of y'all use Airbnb, but we are quickly loving Airbnb. Like, there's no other way to travel, y'all. I mean, at the end of the day, like, this has been an awesome experience. Like, I couldn't have possibly known that this layout was here just from the pictures. Like, you don't see any of that. Just get to see like the inside of the house and reviews and things like that. But Airbnb does a really good job of putting out reviews and putting out everything, you know. And so I started looking around in different places. And at first we were thinking about going to Athens or to Clemson so that we could visit a couple of restaurants and possibly meet up with some chefs to maybe, you know, think about what we could grow maybe next year. You know, if we had any excess of, could we divert it to restaurants? So we were thinking that. Then, how did that come about?
Robin had to come up to this area for her work.
So then I thought I would really like to go up to Helen again, because Helen would be fun. Looked up in Helen and wasn't really finding anything that I was interested in. But there was a theme there. It was the mountains. And so then I told Jason, I said, you know, I've been driving up to Asheville the last couple of months, like 2 times a month. And it's beautiful up there. Maybe we can go up Asheville way. So I started looking in like Hendersonville, Fletcher, places like that. And again, just didn't see anything. So then Jason said, well, how about like up in the Georgia, like up towards the Georgia mountains? Just type in Georgia mountains and see what towns come up. So started typing in different mountains or different towns, and Dillard came up. And I was familiar with Dillard because I've heard of the Dillard house before. Wasn't really familiar with what it was, but I knew there was this thing called the Dillard house. So I knew where it was. So we looked in Dillard and we found this awesome place that was very affordable, like super affordable. And it's really nice. It's just a downtown, and what's really cool is it's actually part of their home. Their home's up on the top, but this bottom part sits separate next to the garage, and so you're not bothered, and not that they would be a bother. They're actually very pleasant people. But we're able to, you know, do our thing, look at plans, do a lot of research.
Well, when we pulled up, they both came down to meet us, and we
Super nice people.
sat around and talked for a little bit.
We're sitting there and they're just pulling blueberries off the bushes. Here, have some blueberries.
Started and told us that anytime that, like, they led us to the perfect place for breakfast. And they told us if we didn't want to go out for breakfast, then to come out here, pick some blueberries, have some coffee, and just relax. And they're extremely helpful about, you know, where to go here, where to go there. And we didn't listen to them for dinner, and we went to this other place that if you are on the Big Bear Nation, you'll
Totally disappointed.
totally see what happened. And what it was is when we drove past, we could smell steak cooking. And that's what made us turn around and go in there, because it smelled so good, and it was a huge disappointment.
And we knew that, and I had a couple of people on my receipt comment say stuff about how much everything cost. Well, I mean, we're in a town in the middle of the summer when everybody's out and about.
Well,
so it's going to be, I mean.
I don't think it's that. I think you nailed it when we were talking this morning.
That's true.
You nailed it. The Dillard house is for lack of a better term, it is a 5-star restaurant.
It is the Disney, in my opinion, it's the Disney of restaurants.
Yes.
Basically.
And basically breakfast was like $14 a plate.
Now, I know that sounds crazy, but
You go to the table, they take your drink order. Within 3 to 5 minutes, tops,
hey, single dad.
what's up, Chris? They bring out a tray, and it had scrambled eggs,
Scrambled eggs.
sausage, 2 different types of sausage, link, patty, bacon,
And I'm not talking thin bacon, like thick cut bacon. Pork tenderloin.
pork tenderloin, biscuits,
Gravy.
gravy,
Grits.
fried potatoes,
cinnamon rolls,
blueberry
pancakes.
muffins, pancakes, and biscuits.
You said biscuits, but yeah. So all of that, and it all fits on your table. And we'll post. We've got a picture that we'll
Yeah.
post for you guys to see. But they do it family, what they call family style. So they just put it out on your. There is no
Yeah.
menu.
No
It's
menu.
literally they put everything out on the table, and you just pick from it. Now, what we were talking about before, we're like $14 is kind of high for breakfast.
I wasn't
Keep
done.
in. Go ahead.
And they also have fruit, fresh fruit.
Oh
and-
yeah, there's fresh fruit, and then there's
juice.
juice, and
But
all
you have
of
to
that.
go up. You have to go up and get that because they, I guess, with different allergies and stuff.
Right,
they-
and there's so much to choose from.
Right.
So they have like blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, cantaloupe,
Pineapple.
watermelon, pineapple. So they have pretty much everything. You just kind of pick what you want. But the cool thing to keep in mind is because of Jason's diet, he can only have certain things. So for him to get full off of just eggs and meat would cost us close to $14. Easy. Easy.
Easy.
The amount of food that he ate, it was,
I hurt myself.
You would be surprised, Green Gables, because what they do, in a lot of places where you do kind of a buffet style, they don't let you take anything home. They let you take home whatever you want that's on your table.
I'm ignoring him.
I love you, Chris.
And they come back to the table. What would you like more of? Mm-hmm. Now, anybody that has ever processed their own bacon, they can tell right away whether or not this bacon is home processed or store bought. The thicknesses are different, the texture is different, and the flavor is different. Come to find out, everything that we ate this morning came from their own farm.
Yeah, there are farms.
See, Dillard, Georgia was once completely owned by the Dillard family. You said they bought it from the Native Americans.
I think what I read, they smoke it on their property, yeah. I think what I read, and I could be completely wrong on this, but I think what it is that they originally purchased it from the American Indians through some kind of purchase. Then, when the government came in and seized all the land and wanted to redistribute everything, the Dillards came back and bought the land again. And now, hey, Suburban. And now the Dillard house has been around. They're celebrating 100 years this year, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
The road has fresh wildflowers and
yeah.
every type of flower growing on it.
So they have a flower bed or a flower garden that is just, and I think of Jess whenever I looked at it because I know how much she loves zinnias. They have zinnias like everywhere. They're like, they're probably 4 or 5 feet tall and just spread everywhere. And then come to find out, when we went to sit down, they cut fresh flowers from that garden and
For
bring
the
it
table.
in for all of the tables. And they must have 150 tables in there. And he said, "Oh, I've been there. It's awesome. I had lunch."
I have
to go to breakfast.
Yes.
Well, and now
Let
lunch
me know
and
when
dinner.
you're coming. I'll come.
Lunch and dinner is more expensive, but they do the
It's the
same
same
style
concept,
again.
yeah.
But the concept is they do fried chicken. There's something else, and then
There's a sirloin, or prime rib.
and barbecue
Ribs.
ribs.
Yeah.
It's like 4. Oh, that's cool. She has a hand pump from the Dillard General Store.
Nice.
So that's the cool thing. Like in this town, like the Dillards actually let the town have their name to be called Dillard, Georgia. So that's pretty cool too.
And the other restaurants in the area, it seems that they want to mimic the Dillard's price, but
Not the
give
quality.
not give the same quality or the same level of service.
Right.
Now, that we're just speaking from that restaurant that we went to last
Yeah,
night. We
that's
don't,
not fair to
we
judge
didn't,
everybody
we
that
didn't
way.
know, but that's what to us that's what that Valley restaurant
Well,
was attempting to do.
I've looked at other because our hostess is awesome as far as like different menus and stuff. Like they have little pamphlets of a bunch of the different menus from around town, and the other restaurant here in town prices are about the same. So that was what prompted us today when we were doing all of our. No, you don't have to make reservations. So we this morning after breakfast, we came back here and we had a really good, like, hardcore planning session. And, like, basically came up for air at about 1:30. And we were like, well, let's do lunch. What do we want to do about lunch? And there's a Piggly Wiggly in
Yes,
town.
they got a Piggly Wiggly and it's still open.
There's a Piggly Wiggly, but then there's also, a little bit further down, you got a couple of grocery stores and stuff. And so we went to the store and we got some food to cook for lunch and then again for tonight for dinner. And basically spent what we spent at that crappy restaurant yesterday for
For
two
lunch,
meals.
lunch and dinner.
And we're
Yep.
not eating like peanuts.
We
We're
had
eating salmon and steak.
Yeah.
So,
And some very fresh vegetables.
very fresh vegetables. So you want to talk about that real quick?
No, that's my honey hole. I'm not talking about it. Not talking about it.
Are you going to accept the get up challenge?
Nobody challenged us. Not yet. Mama grows, mama grows, mama
Sounds
grows.
delicious. Yes. So, yeah, salmon was delicious. Steak will be just as good, I'm sure. So what?
You have to tell them the bomb you dropped on me.
Oh, so we're driving up here, and we get up here, and I said, if I have to run the same circuit that I've been running for the last 6 months,
Which she will.
for the next year or two, or however long it is that I'm going to be Stivers challenged all homesteads. You're challenged. Sheesh. Awesome video, by the way. Just saying. Y'all rocked it. I was dying. I enjoyed it. I am so excited to actually get to like hang out with y'all just for a little bit because I know you're going to be super busy. But I am super, super excited to be able to get to see them in a couple weeks. Anyway, so we were sitting there talking and
See, I was going through that loophole
what?
that the Stivers didn't really call anybody's
Oh,
name.
it's official. Yeah. Yes.
And then Doug gonna come in
And
here.
he's been hovering. He's been in the background the whole time listening to. Oh, hi.
You got a doe down over there.
Yeah, she was probably
She's
within
famous
20.
now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we put her on YouTube. Yeah.
Well, she usually has a fawn with her.
Oh, we didn't see
Didn't
the
see
fawn.
the fawn, but she didn't go very far from that bottom apple tree down there.
It's probably down in there.
Down in the cover down
Yeah.
there, yeah. Very
We
cool.
have some leftovers from breakfast. Is it okay to give it to the chickens?
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all are familiar with chickens, so
Yeah.
you know what they can eat.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but I just didn't want to.
You don't wanna do that to
it 'cause
somebody's
not my
stuff.
chickens.
No, we're not,
Okay.
fussy about.
All right, cool.
I was hoping they were all in the house.
I think that there's just, the ones hanging out because I've been watching them. They're kind of, I think they're all in there now. Yeah.
I'll get them all again.
Absolutely. Your salmon was better than Doug and Stacy's salmon, just saying. So, anyway, we were talking about being up here, and I said that if I have to make the same routes that I've been having to make over the last 6 months for the next year or two, I could certainly
That's
fall in love with the
No,
mountains.
that is not what you said. You said you want to move up
No,
here.
that's not what I said. I said I would open up the conversation again to move up to the mountains. That's exactly what I said.
No, that is not exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then how come we?
So I said that I would reopen the discussion to having property up in the mountains, is what I said. he lost, dude. So essentially, what that translated into for Jason.
No, see, you are trying to kick me under the bus. We will probably be moving in 2 years.
No.
2 to 3 years tops.
And
Because if it was just open for discussion, then when I said, "Okay, what's the time frame you're looking at?" You were like 3 years tops, and we're gonna be up in the mountains.
I didn't say, but see, this is where we our translations are different. I didn't
No.
say we were going to move up here. What did I say?
You said you wanted to use it as a
Well-
vacation home, and I said once you get my fat butt in the mountains,
I
it
ain't leaving. So I said, that's fine. You stay up here and I'll take care of it down in
Fine.
Georgia.
Me and Chris will hunt, trap, fish, and have all the fun.
No translation, good word. I know, right? So what I basically said was that I could see us being up here to retire and things like that. So Single Dad's like, are you coming close to us? How far are you from Dillard? Just thought I would say hello. Hey, Robin. That's a different Robin R. I wonder who that is. LJ is a beautiful area, yeah. Have to run. Have a good night. Good night.
Good night.
Wish I was back in the. It's beautiful up here, and I'll tell you we woke up this morning, and normal time 6 o'clock, got moving by about 6:37, came out here, and you could see, the mist, the
smoke.
fog.
That's why it's called the Smoky Mountains.
Could see the fog lifting, and we watched it, lift all the way up, and then a little while later, it
Storm.
rained,
And it did
and
it
we
again.
got to see this, and it was really cool because this is a covered porch, and so we got to watch the storm and watch it travel over the mountains.
He's 2.5 hours.
Holy cow!
Well, he's
So-
3 from us, so it's 30 minutes more. Or 30 minutes less.
Less.
Yeah.
No, I think he's 3.5. I think is what he said.
No, he said 3.
No, I think it's 3.5.
Just
Tell
like
me,
you-
Chris.
Just like you said, it's
3.5.
just on the table.
You know he's gonna side with me just to get you upset. So.
No, he's not.
Anyway, so what we're basically 10 minutes. Ah, you win. So Rabun County. So that's exactly where we're at. We're in Rabun County, Georgia. There are some really cool things around here, and that's all I'm allowed to say. Apparently,
So one of the things.
which we're gonna take advantage of tomorrow. I'm gonna be quiet now.
One of the very cool things that did happen today.
Breakaway, what's up?
We were
I'm not talking to you, by the way.
talking to an older couple. And
At the Dillard house.
At the Dillard house. And they knew Doug and Stacy. They watched
Yes.
Doug and Stacy.
So Doug, if you're still on here, because we started telling them what we do, and they were like, "Yeah, one of our
Now who's
granddaughter, hold that so it doesn't break. Was it granddaughter or niece or somebody?
Something like that.
Anyway, that watches, and it was so funny because you can tell they don't do YouTube very much. I mean, they know what it is, but they don't watch a lot of it. And so they're like, "Oh, she watches that one channel. They grow stuff and they show you how to can things and da 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 da." And we were like,
can we narrow it down just a little bit?
and she's got long brown. I said, "Off grid with Doug and Stacy," and that's it. That's it. We're like, "We know them. We're gonna go see them in a couple weeks." Really? So you made us famous by association. Just saying, thanks.
So, but it was really cool that they knew it. And then we told them how we were coming to the Homesteading Life Conference, which is 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away, 4.
No.
Yes.
Like 2 to 3. No, we're getting close. Like
We were
3
just
weeks.
5 weeks away like last
I
week.
think like 3 weeks. Because my birthday is next weekend.
All right. Oh. Where did that week go? So then it is
3
3
weeks.
weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 weeks away. I missed a week.
August 4th and 5th.
Quit
Jesus,
kicking the
sorry.
table. So,
Stacy and Doug. Yeah, right?
so we told them how we were getting ready for that and how we were doing a workshop up there on predator control. And
Good night, Happy
that
Colorado
if
Homestead.
they didn't have their ticket, they needed to hurry up and get it because
Almost time to
it's
sell it.
dwindling down.
I wonder if this will give us more light.
It'll blind us.
Blinded by the light. Does that work?
Yeah, that works.
Cool.
And so, that was cool.
Schedule is live now on website. Awesome. Everybody go check that out. Or someone would have a homesteading get together in Ohio so I could go to one. We just
did one.
kind of mood lighting. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry.
Armor. There was just one. It was the Meyer Hatchery Customer Appreciation and Homesteading Festival. And it's just some guy talking trash. That's all that is. And so
Yeah, and 2 families in Ohio.
yeah.
There's a couple of people that are
There was a
close,
lot
yeah.
of good homesteaders in Ohio.
It's Doug. It's never really Stacy.
Yeah.
So now we have planning, more planning.
We got to finish up the planning for the project that's coming in 2020.
20 minutes from
We were talking
there,
about it.
We'll be there next year. They're gonna do it again next year. And then there's the Hootenannies in Lower Michigan, so that's semi-close to y'all. Not too far. Depending on what part of Ohio you're in. But
She's 20 minutes from Meyer Hatchery.
south, north, west, east, don't know. I'm in Lodi. So yeah, that's not that far. And then there's, Lehman's is.
And
Lehman's.
so I forget what I was getting ready to say.
Planning, lots of planning.
Lots of planning to try to figure out what we've got to do right now, and we are going to document this process hardcore. So within a week or two, we're going to sit down and interview each member of our family and talk about the project decision, the things that we've been doing, and we're going to sit down every now and then and talk with them all the way up to January 1. Now come January 1 and we'll do a premiere video, and it'll be that documentation of us
Getting ready to start it.
explaining what the project is, explaining the what do you say, the parameters of the project, and then we're going to kick it off, and there'll be daily vlogs through this project for the year, and we're sharing everything, and because the point needs to be proven, and
I think it's gonna be cool.
it's going to be very
I'm
cool.
excited about it.
It's going to be very cool. There's going to be a lot of bloopers.
Looking for red strapping video, which should be coming soon. Because we got the stuff
we got the stuff to fix it, and so it's going to be coming up. And I'm just waiting for that big buck to come right down through here.
I know, right? I left for the kids. Someone's telling me what the project is. We haven't told anybody
We
yet.
haven't told anybody. We're not going to tell anybody till the first of the year.
Right.
Because again, there's a tremendous amount of planning, and if it looks like it's going to just completely tank,
Hey, just me.
or if we're not prepared to be able to pull this off and pull it off correctly, because that's the key thing, is being able to do it correctly.
Yeah, no, the project is not moving within the next 2 years. That's just something different that we
Yeah, that's just another monkey in the wrench.
wrench in the monkey in the wrench, monkey wrench.
Yeah.
So the thing about moving, really what we're looking into, because don't don't misunderstand us. We're still going to keep our. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
We're still going to keep our Georgia property because we know that we'll never find that again, unless God wills it. But we know that we have a really good
Well, here's
a
the thing.
good thing.
Blaze starts school in the fall. He's locked to basically to that area more than likely for the next 4 years. You know, and then depending on where he decides to go in life, by that time, Carol's going to be going into school. And she's probably going to go follow Blaze's footsteps and get at least all of their core classes done at the community college. And so then she's going to be locked to that area. And then same way with Chunky Monkey. And the way that I look at it as if they have a house that I know is safe, that is
Good night, dear.
10 or 15, 20 minutes,
Y'all
30
be
minutes
safe.
from the college, that takes a lot of stress off of a parent. I don't have to worry about them getting tossed out on the street because
Right.
they didn't pay their rent. I don't have to worry about them getting the lights turned off because they didn't pay their power bill.
Right.
The worst that'll happen is we have to pay the power bill and then they get a foot in the butt.
Jason's gonna crochet and what? And Robin's going to start wearing a brown rimmed hat. I've already worn that hat. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. No, I don't want to do that.
So we're not letting go of what we got. Basically, what more than likely will happen is we'll take the dairy cows off, leave the beef cows, and look at Blaze and say, keep the beef cows alive, and boom, he lives there, goes to school. We'll make sure that we say basically you're going to have to keep a B average, and you live here. You break it, you bought it. You throw a big party and you
Break my TV.
Well, he's gonna have to get his own TV. But you bust holes in the walls, break doors and stuff, he's gonna have to replace it. Plain and simple. And it's more or less for me anyway. It's more for the girls than it is for Bubba. Blaze, with him being a jailer, he's skinny and scrawny and wiry, but he can hold his own. But it's also good for him to have a safe place. But with the
more
girls,
so for the girls.
with the girls,
They
I
can
know
always come back.
they can have a good dog like Apollo or Gizmo there that will pretty much keep everybody scared off. And so by the time Ladessa comes around, the house will be pretty much paid off, hopefully. And so it's not really going to cost us anything but the tax money, and we'll make sure that they're going to have an income because the power is going to be put in their name. The
Yeah, those girls could shoot also. Yeah.
And so it's one of those things. It's the way that I look at it as is because one, you never stop being a parent and you never stop worrying about your kids and you never stop really looking after them. But this lets them put their feet in the water of the real world with responsibility, but they have a safety net.
Just in case.
Right. And so we can let them have a little bit more rope, and we can even let the rope get tight, to where it's hard to breathe, but it's not choking them out to where they die. And so then I think that will help them
Congratulations, just me.
do a budget. That'll help them manage a budget because they're going to have to put their own food in the house. They're going to have to do the lights, do the cable, anything that they want, the internet, all that stuff that they're going to have to have. They're still going to have to pay us for the car insurance. And I think that instead of, like when I left for the Marine Corps, I dove in the life pool. The Marine Corps did give me a little bit of a safety net because it did put a roof over my head, and it did make sure that I could go to the chow hall and have 3 meals a day. But if I wanted cable TV in my room, I had to pay for it. If I wanted a TV, I had to pay for it. If I wanted a phone, I had to pay for it.
Right.
You know?
But you also had a job where you could pay for it.
Right.
So I'm laughing. They said that they see Ladessa with chickens in a garden. Absolutely. Funny story though. You said I don't see her as a top ramen girl. She actually was. And we kind of had to get her off of that because she started pudging up a little bit. And well, and to be fair, it was in the middle of the winter time, so she was eating just because she didn't have anything fresh outside. But now that we've been harvesting everything outside, it's nothing to see her with a strawberry in her mouth or a snow pea or
Yeah. Ladessa would definitely keep the kitchen garden going. I think Carol would too.
yeah,
I think,
she'll grow peas.
I
Absolutely.
think I think Blaze would, just because Blaze would look at it as it cost me 25 cents for a packet of seeds, or I could con Dad out of a bunch of seeds, plant them, make sure they get water, because by then that'll have a micro irrigation system. He'll go out spending $20 to put a timer on it to make sure that it gets watered correctly, and then he'll look at it as, I'm growing my own food, now I have extra money to party.
Exactly.
So I think
I do see that. I see that just from the perspective of knowing that he doesn't have to work as much on a budget as far as food goes. I think that definitely translates for them, all of them really. They kind of know that Carol will build a tree house in the back 40 and never be seen. Look, I agree with that. I agree. Her and her slingshot should be out there getting rabbits. We'll never hear from her. But yeah, I think so. The overall kind of idea is for us to still have, because like I talked to Dee. She's not in here right now, probably because the weather's really bad where they are. But like her family had a bunch of land, and still has the land. It's in their family, like a uncle or grandfather, somebody, and one of the family still lives on the property, and he still plants a full garden every year. And he lets Dee come, and she can have whatever she wants as long as she harvests it, right? And then she can put away whatever she wants and can and do whatever she needs. And so I feel like that's kind of what we're gonna do. Is I feel like we'll kind of set up the mood for them to be able to plant a full garden, and if we need to come back and harvest anything, we can come help and harvest. We'll obviously still have our own place to be able to do a small kitchen garden and have our chickens. Suburban, your garden is not that little, and really size doesn't really matter. It all matters on how you use what you got. So, why are you putting your head down?
wait for it.
So anyway, we are going to start kind of keeping our eyes open for what land prices and values and things.
And there it is.
And, see what's available.
I actually thought it was going to be Chris first, but Josh beat him to
I think
it.
he beat him to it. It's that mountain internet. So we're gonna kind of look on your face when you realize she said that was priceless. So, so basically, that's what we're gonna be looking into over the next couple of years. And the thing too is that, because really what it started out as is I kept making the joke that I'm up in Greenville all the time, that I need a second. I did not need to say it. I need a second home in Greenville because I'm always in that area. Well, from Greenville to Asheville is not far. It's like maybe another hour. So I was telling Jason, I'm making this drive all the time. Being up in those mountains would actually be a benefit if I'm still traveling back and forth.
Hey, I'm all for
I
it.
could travel from there.
My DNA runs deep in these hills.
the McGrady clan came over a long time ago, and we pretty much populated the Blue Ridge. And so I'm all in night
Good
white
night,
pig.
white picket fence.
So I got family all up in these hills. I
Yeah.
spent my summers as a kid up in these hills with my papa. And
We should just buy a place together on the Tennessee side.
hey, I'm
Well,
down
you
with
know,
that.
single dad, that's one thing. Our salesperson that, and I need to talk to you about this, our salesperson that worked in the Tennessee area, I think she's resigned. So there may be some accounts available to poach on the Tennessee side, just on the other side of North Carolina. So I may be asking about that, and if that's the case, if I'm allowed to do that, we may hit you up and see if I can come up for a couple of days and just work, work the area for a couple of days. So we'll see. Take your time, consider buying a larger property to add section off another parcel, put a use trailer, rent or spec their property. Oh. 13 acres, western South Carolina, southwest of Clemson. That's a good area. I mean, even the area at Seneca, anywhere around there. I mean, I work all of that area, so that's the thing is I could very easily, still be able to go, from one to the other. So that's part of the motivation was,
Yeah, I'm all about living in the mountains. It's cooler.
and, I mean, we were talking about this today. The temperature here and the temperature in Elberton is about the same, but the humidity level is different. The air quality
Did you see what Chris
is
said?
different, yes.
You can say that to me.
That's because I'm prettier than you.
They, there's lots of things that the mountains provide. One of my favorite fish is trout. I Celtic Nana. I love trout. I could eat my weight in trout. If I was only allowed to eat one thing for the rest of my life,
Sushi.
it would be trout. I mean, you can cook it so many different ways. Um,
I don't know. That trout that he brought us was really good. So I
Exactly.
agree. Yeah.
and
Oh, 3.5 hours in the yard today. Oh,
yeah, yeah, but I'm not going to the desert. I love you, Green Dream. I think you're a cool guy. I can't wait to meet you in person, give you a high five, let you and me come up with
but
a
it's
secret
so dry
handshake.
there.
But I was in Las Cruces, New Mexico when Daddy was in the Marine Corps. Y'all got these little bushes out there that float around and roll around, and they leave these little sticky things that's worse than um, stepping on a Lego.
Yeah.
Scarred me for life. Hated it. I never want to go back to the desert.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Of course,
So,
but I did fall in love with
Tumbleweed.
cactuses. I did fall in love with cactuses when I was there.
and I will say this, Chris. When we were coming back from, that's actually kind of what started the conversation. Because when we stopped at Chris's place, Chris has
A beautiful
it's
place.
a piece of heaven, like really.
His place is better than our place.
It's beautiful, and it's well put together, and it's built like I mean he intentionally placed it the way he placed it. Everything is calculated and absolutely gorgeous up there. And when we were sitting up there, sitting on the deck and looking out at the mountains, basically shaking hands with the man on the moon, I at that point was when I was like, really don't like crow. Like I really don't. Like it's nasty. Don't want to eat it.
I'm not
But
gonna make you eat it.
well, it's two different things though. We're in an area, we have a lot of land which we're, working on. But your place,
Want to trade?
no, your place evokes a type of inner calm and inner peace. Like
Yeah.
you can just kind of leave everything down at the bottom of the mountain. And when you come up on that mountain, like it's, you know, it's just beautiful up there. And so,
Well, like I said, anything in a mountain area, because there's ginseng in the mountains. Mushrooms are more available in the mountains.
well, just in general, what what single dye, what you're saying is actually part of the reason. Just at the foot of our hill here, there's a garden that's growing across from us, and there's cabbage growing there. Now, our cabbage, just an hour and a half south, our cabbage is struggling, like struggling. I mean, it's getting there, but it's not these big, beautiful, healthy cabbages. Our whole bed may make a gallon of kraut, maybe. We'll be lucky if we get a gallon of kraut. And
Night, Duncan.
down there, they're growing rows and rows and rows of these cabbages that are like basketball size.
Well, one of the things that I haven't brought up yet, because it was going to be one of my final swords that I pulled out to go, yes, that we're going to move up
Ginger
here.
also loves the mountains.
Yep, ginger.
Yes.
But when you're dehydrating your food, for us, because of the humidity being so high in the air where we are, it takes twice as long. We come up here, we would cut our dehydration time in half. And and that's one of the things. But like I've been trying to say, the mountains provide. I think one of the things that makes me relax in the mountains is I know if anything ever happened, I could go into the mountains with a pocket knife and be fine.
Have fun, Green Dream.
Because the mountain provides. God made the mountain perfect. Well, he made everything perfect, but he made the mountains as close to Eden as you can be, in my opinion. The wildlife is always abundant. Rabbits, squirrels,
I mean,
bears, deer.
The deer walked right up onto the.
The fishing is good. And the growing conditions, most of your soil up here, yeah, you might hit some rocky spots, but for the most part, you're going to have good, healthy soil. And you're not going to have a large insect problem because they get all
They
four
get snow.
seasons. They
Yeah,
get snow.
she said they get two or three good snows. But the thing is, I hate you. Just saying. Now y'all know why I spend 2 to 3 months up there what did he say? Every year to recharge my inner batteries. Might even have an actual chance to kill whatever you're hunting here in the mountains.
Yep.
I know, right? Yeah, so, I mean, that just solidifies it even more. The fact that I'm sitting out on the porch and it walks right, 20 yards, y'all saw it. It was close enough that our little camera on the phone could pick it up, so. Deer, turkey, bear, coyote, and fox could be shot from the deck. Wow.
So I'm excited that is now on the table. And we get through this project this year,
Next year.
That's going to help us tremendously. And and so
Shut your face, Chris.
and so and then we're going to start looking. And it may be that I call Chris and say, all right,
Keep an eye out.
let's keep an eye out. Let's go find a couple 100 acres or something, and we'll split it,
Yeah,
or something like that,
yeah.
But, it's also going to be that our spot where that's it. We retire. And so we may scale it down to 5 acres, 10 acres, and manage it there, and then have our big one down in Elberton where we can
Tim.
um,
Do all our producing and stuff.
have the major production of the chickens and the pork and all of that stuff. And
Look,
that
I
all
told
really
him-
depends on how this next year
I told
goes.
him it needs to be kind of like how my grandparents used to do, where they were snow bunnies or snowbirds. Is that what they call it?
Once I'm there,
So
I'm not
like
leaving.
during the winter time, we can go down to Georgia, South Georgia, or it's not even South Georgia, it's still North Georgia, but an hour and a half south, 2 hours south, whatever. I'm only trying to sell you 13.5. But the thing is that, you know, I could see staying down there in the wintertime when it's a little bit warmer, and then being up here in the summer when it's not as hot. So Jason said no, once he gets there, he ain't leaving.
Well, the
So, we'll
winter
see.
time is extremely going to be extremely productive for me. I'll have bear season, deer season, small
So
game.
I truly will be a hunter's widow. Like, that'll just be,
I'm cool.
I
with
mean, you know, you can just have your hunting property for the 3 months.
it. All right, Chris, you heard that right?
Me and Aylin talked today about buying some acres at the bottom of the mountain so we can get cows and her horse when she's older. Snow season, yeah. Digging in like a badger.
Yep.
Not me.
I mean, if I'm just going to get my hunting cabin and just go there for the winter, and you stay down here, I'm going to go to Maine. I can get moose, elk, caribou.
No, you're missing the point. I'm still driving distance to you.
Oh, so when you get a little lonely, you gonna come up here?
Mhm.
That's not how it works.
Or whatever. You know it's how it works.
Changing the locks.
So anyway, so that's some minor news.
How is that minor?
Compared to what we're getting ready to drop, it's minor.
Yeah.
So, Robin, when he's gone hunting, I will come down to see you. Aw, Tim, you're so sweet.
Odessa kick his butt. But,
All right.
well, guys, we gotta go. We still gotta make dinner,
Steak's calling my name.
and we gotta finish hammering out this new part of the plan.
New part of the plan. You almost said it.
And
See, Suburban's like, I wonder how long Jason can actually keep a secret. If that's what you want, just come finish out Cabin at the Bottom and use it.
and so.
Glad you came on. Consider it Joy Homestead.
Guys, I don't know if you're going to be able to get the Instapot video out tomorrow.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if we'll check out. Here's 11. Then we gotta do that, and then maybe we'll have it out. We'll see. I'll try. I know we were supposed to have one out this past week. It just didn't. With all of this stuff that was going on with us talking about this new plan, it just never came to fruition.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my fault. So, thank you guys for coming by,
Yep.
spending time in the mountains with us.
And we remind you to plant smiles
Grow giggles.
and harvest love. Be kind to one another. You don't know what that person's going through. Recycle, reuse, repurpose. And we will see you guys again next week.
Next week. Goodbye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good night.